technical difficulties there. No video intro. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going? Happy Wednesday. This is the Rivalry with me, Joe Stevens, the Seahawks fan, and Ryan from No Border Sports, the enemy. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Oh, terrific. What's been going on in 49er land? Lots of fun stuff, I bet.
Well, same old, same old. Actually, just same old, same old, same old, same old. Really? Well, we do have one good thing. We got one. Well, I guess a couple good things.
Cooney?
Yeah.
All right. That's about all I've heard, other than Aiyuk and Williams.
Yeah. Well, Pooney's like, I actually just got done watching two videos. Shout out Johnny Dell and somebody else. I can't remember their name. I wish I could give them the shout out because I thought they did a great job. One thing I did notice is I was like, all this tape, I should have been watching what Jalen Moore was doing. But I haven't heard about him much, so maybe he's doing better. I should have spent a little time watching what he was doing during the play. But I was kind of amazed. Dominic Pooney is handling the business. He's doing great at pass pro. He knows exactly what he's supposed to do, and you can tell. And he knows how to make up for other people. Like, he does such a good job. Usually when shit's falling apart, his guy is out of the way and he can take on another guy for a half a second. And from the clips we've seen, that half a second is exactly what we needed to get the you know what I mean, to get the playoffs. So
he's a rookie, correct?
He's a rookie. He's a pass pro guy. He's a big pass pro guy. Wasn't much of a run blocker, but he's doing a great job as a run blocker so far. He's getting to the second level and getting to the second level in the right position. A big thing is with us is getting to the linebacker, to the spot where the linebacker will be, right? Because you can run at the linebacker the moment he goes, but the moment the ball is snapped, he's going to be somewhere else by the time you get to that spot where you were firstly gunned. So you got to get to an imaginary spot where you think they're going to be. And he's really good at that so far. And that helps cut up with the zone run. There's usually like a backside hole sometimes that will open up.
Yep.
And that's nastier than just continuing the rest of the play because you're straight. Once you get through that hole, you're one-on-one with a safety. You don't have to outrun. If you keep on going out to the edge, trying to turn the corner, you're going to have to outrun probably about 4 or 5 guys, maybe 3, on an easy play 3, but sometimes it's going to be 5. So to cut back up, it's really big, and have that guy seal off that block. He's getting to the right spots when people are. He stonewalled Cam Jordan.
Oh, really?
He went up against Cam Jordan for a play, and I wouldn't say he like totally stonewalled him, but he didn't really move back much, and he won the rep. And he there's plenty of times where he I'll get out of position or in some sort of way. It's not, I wouldn't necessarily call it a mistake. It's just, there's a lot going on sometimes. And he recognizes things so quickly that he's able to make up for essentially a mistake or being out of position really well. And that's what's really, really good about him is the way Brock Purdy kind of sees the field and knows the offense. That's kind of like Pooney's got that. Like, he sees what's going on. He knows what needs to be done. And he makes it happen. So this guy, he's going to be handy for Brendel, who's been an issue. And he's going to be help for McKivitz on the outside, who's been an issue. So it's kind of the perfect guy in the draft. Everybody gets mad because the 49ers draft players, way before they're supposed to, right? And what I think is the 49ers draft at least a round early. So if this person's supposed to go in the third round, 49ers are going to look to pick him up in the second. The reason being is they want the people they want. And the reason they want those people is because there's certain characteristics, and they wanted Pony. You know what I mean? They wanted Pony over it, but that's why he got picked over everybody else. And that's why he got picked higher than everybody expected, because it was certain things that they wanted about him, and they didn't want to have a chance of him being around when he was speculated. They wanted to get him and get him into camp and start getting him going on the team.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they do things. So this is why I think when people get frustrated about where we draft people, this is what it doesn't matter where you're drafted. It doesn't matter where you're drafted. It matters who you are, and it matters what you bring to the team. And this is how somebody who was drafted in third round, Pooney? Third round can play better than some people drafted higher than him.
Mm-hmm.
You get in the right situation, right? So I just kind of want to put that out there.
Yeah, situational. Who else has stood out for you guys?
Jalen Graham's got some buzz, but it looks like Robinson might take that spot. Burks might be taking the spot of Hufanga until Robinson might take Greenlaw's spot until Greenlaw comes back. Robinson, who's been around for about a year and a half, I think. I don't know. It seems like he knows the defense more than Jalen Graham, who's got a lot of buzz in camp, but he totally missed an assignment where he was supposed to go with the wide receiver to the point where Malik Mustafa had to essentially, the moment the ball was snapped, pretty much break from his single high safety spot and just cover the flat. Because, yeah. So there's things going down there. Gosh, our round one wide receiver is injured again. He injured his shoulder, he re-injured the shoulder that was injured during OTAs.
Oh, wow.
So now we know the shoulder during OTAs. So we got the man of glass.
We talked about this last time.
Well, we didn't talk about this last time. This is now a reoccurring injury.
Oh, yeah, the one, it seems like he's never healthy, right?
Isaac Correndo came, I guess. Isaac Correndo, I heard this from Grant Cohn. So I'm just referencing that, putting that out there. I heard it from Grant Cohn that Correndo came out today and had a great day. He got, 30 yards off of 3 or 4 carries. And yeah. And there's some other stuff he did pretty nice. He said he looked real fast. So that's good. Speed, that's what I'm looking for in certain situations. If he can turn that corner, if we can do the outside zone and he can get to the corner and turn the corner like Mostert used to do, because that's what's so amazing about Mostert. He could actually get to the outside of the wide receiver before the defense could get to him. And the moment you can do that, you've almost got a free step to turn up field because of the receiver's body.
Yeah.
And then if you can withstand, an arm tackle, you've got the keys to the city almost. You know what I mean? You got 10 yards free, at least 10 yards free, unless somebody decided that you were going to get 10 yards and they were already planning. You know what I mean? And yeah. So if we can have somebody who can do that again, that'll be amazing. Also, the kick returns. I heard Pat McAfee talking about they might have to change the kick return rule again because
they're just putting it out of the back.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't care. I think these kick returns are dumb as fuck.
Do you want the young kids to get off your porch too?
No, I think it's ridiculous. I mean, they say punts are 10 times safer than kickoffs, right? Just have an opening punt. It would look less dumb than this kickoff does.
I don't know.
That's fine. That's fine with me. Have an opening punt. It's a kick. Just send the punt team out there at like the 35, 40-yard line. Have them punt to start the game.
I don't like the punt idea of the formation of the punt.
Why?
Because
you see it on fourth down anyways. Just make
know.
it have kickoff rules, obviously. Make it
But
to
at the start of the game, I don't like the look of that. You know what I'm saying? At the start of the game and the start of this.
The look of this shit. Pissing me off.
All right.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good. Let it all out. Let it all out.
That was about it. I just, I knew it was going to happen anyways. They're just kicking it out of the back of the end zone, which is fine. They wanted to limit kickoffs.
There needs to be more of a penalty. There needs to be more of a penalty to kick it out of that back of the end zone.
The NFL has spent the last 15 fucking years trying to eliminate the kickoff from the NFL, right? And now as soon as they want the kickoff implemented, right, instead of wanting the kickoff taken away, now they're going to say, oh, fuck, you guys can't kick touchbacks even though that's what we've been trying to get you guys to do since like 2010. It's so frustrating. The ratings are high enough. I promise, NFL. You guys will not lose any ratings over touchbacks. Sorry.
I would have them bring back the drop kick too.
The drop kick's legal.
No, drop kick isn't.
Yeah, it's legal. Swear to God. They never banned it.
I thought after Belichick used it with Flutie, they banned it.
No, it's still a thing. No one's ever attempted it, though. Flutie was the last one to attempt it.
Look, that's what. Yes. But I would change it. You do that, and you get the ball kicked. Do you get the ball kicked back to you?
No, it's.
See, that's what I would do.
No, no, Jesus. Then we're playing rugby. We're not. No.
I like me some rugby.
Anyways.
But what I'm saying is you get the ball back, but you're only getting like 2 points, right?
What? No. It's a field goal. A drop kick.
No. I'm saying I'd make it like 2 points. I make a drop kick like 2 points. You get the ball back.
Okay, this is a fantasy world we're talking about right now.
Look, I know.
Start off with a very realistic.
I got you.
Kickoff.
I want more kicking into the sport. I think that would be like, imagine you get, you got backed up or something. You got 3rd and goal, but you're 20 yards out. Throw it to your wide receiver. Your wide receiver knows he's about to get tackled. He can't get there. He drop kicks it. Boom, you get 2 points. And then you get the ball back. You got to go all the way back down the field again to try and make a touchdown. But you get the ball back instead of, having to settle for a field goal. It'd be like an onside kick, kind of. Well, not an onside. Sorry, a way to get the ball back without giving it to the other team.
That's just not football, bro. That's just not football.
I could dream.
Yeah, that's fine. Have that dream. Have that dream. I dream that the NFL will pull their head out of their ass when it comes to
never happen.
Kickoff.
They will do my shit first before they pull their head out of their ass.
I mean, honest to God. Don't even. Anyways, Seahawks.
No, let's talk about rule changes. Seems like you really appreciate that topic.
It's just bullshit. It's fucking retarded. As soon as one guy brings it back, 30 yards on you 2 times in a row, of course you realize, oh shit, I can just boot this out of the back of the end zone. We'll be on the 30 instead of the 25 this year. Yeah, I got a notification on my phone. NFL says no chance that they're changing the kickoff rule to the 35 this year. And I was like, why the fuck would they?
Oh, because it was big talk. Which I think they should do it. I think they should do it to the 30 or 40 or something like that. 35 or 4. Sorry, I know.
They already moved it. They fucking moved it. Anyways, the Seahawks. Let's talk about the Seahawks. What do you want to know about the Seahawks?
Oh, Jeff wanted me to ask you about your tight end.
Noah fan?
No, another one.
Pharaoh Brown.
I think that's his name.
Okay.
Hold on. Brady Russell.
Oh, yeah, he's probably going to make the team.
He wanted me to ask you about him. So, please.
Yeah, I mean, fuck,
tell us.
He did drop Jeff. This goes out to you personally. I didn't think we'd be getting into Brady Russell talk today. Brady Russell had really a great 2 games other than one drop pass. He made a pretty good catch to make up for that drop pass in the last preseason game. You can tell, I think I talked about this in the last shows, you can really tell the pecking order of the tight ends through these preseason games with how they're rolling them out. So it's Fant 1, Brown 2, Russell 3, which is crazy because the rookie Barner out of Michigan is clearly tight end 4, along with Mabry. I mean, Tyler Mabry, who you've never heard of, right?
I think so. I think I had him on one of my Madden teams. When was he drafted?
Mabry?
Yeah.
I think it was an undrafted free agent like 2 years ago.
Because I swear I had a Maybury that was I knew the Seahawk on like one of my ultimate Madden teams.
Yeah, well, this guy's just kind of floated around the practice squad, and when you're kind of head to head with Mabry, and then Jack Westover, the Husky, is just completely a non-factor. He's been hurt, but he's clearly not going to make it unless a miraculous thing happens. I think Brady Russell will actually kind of be featured in this offense this year, finding soft spots in a zone, kind of dumping it off to him. That's what it really seems like. It seems like he will be the Jack Westover of the Seattle Seahawks, and Jack Westover will be cut.
Other than blocking, do you think finding the zone is probably the tight end's biggest job?
Yeah.
Or attacking the seam? But I think really being able to find the zone, settle down. I think you're more beneficial for the team because you're always an out for the quarterback.
Well, that's a coach's thing, right? That's kind of just depends on what they have him do. But yeah, no, obviously if the defense is playing soft zone, just fucking squat and take an easy completion for 6 yards. I think that's very effective. And that's what Ryan Grubb did with the Huskies all last year. When they weren't taking shots down the field, big plays to the outside to the receiver, they'd find the open spot in the zone. I think it's going to translate really well to the NFL. I really do.
Yeah, it's funny how, like, I can't remember the quote, but they were pretty much saying all these there's the graveyard's filled with OTA MVPs and this and that, and once the pad comes on, the pads come on, everything else kind of, you know what I mean, all that goes beside the wayside and the men show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say it's, at least from the stories we've heard, it's all just kind of translated with us. I wasn't hearing like, oh, this guy is dominating OTAs and he hasn't showed up since the pads came on. I'd say that. I don't know. Have you guys had a guy like that, or no, not this year?
Wait, what now? A guy that done what?
That looked great with no pads, and then once the pads come on, the preseason happens. He doesn't.
Oh yeah, like Danny Gray.
Okay. Anything
Kinda,
this year?
I think Danny Gray. Well, Danny Gray's been like, he's got that speed. He just doesn't know how to get separation. So it's great when the pads aren't on because there's nothing to, you know what I mean? Like, he's running around like he was burning everybody in camp, and then once he got out there in pads with everybody, it's like he's just not. He's got all this blistering speed, but he can't utilize it because he can't get any separation.
He'd be a good flag football player, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, that's something I would like to talk about later. What?
Let it go. Let it go, because I guarantee you I'm probably going to have the opposite take.
I don't care.
Go ahead.
We'll talk about it later. No. We'll talk about it later at the end
Okay.
of the show. Let's get Seahawks over with. I got a question. There's something that's coming up, and I kind of want your opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Not
Yeah.
something I'm personally vested in, where you know what I mean. Like it'll be the end of our friendship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, flag football and fucking kickoffs. Don't get me started. Okay.
Drop kicks.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Anyways. Otherwise on the Seahawks, do you have any questions, or just who's looking good? What's going on? What do you want?
Yeah. Well, I think did we talk about this beforehand? I've been hearing about the defense a lot. And I just haven't heard really anything about the offense. And I know, that's changed also. So what is that like?
See, that's another thing. I think I kind of told you for a brief second before we came on.
Yeah.
Basically, we haven't had our offense out there with the starting quarterback in, right? They sat Geno the first game, and then they had the joint practice with the Titans for 3 days. So both the Seahawks and the Titans rested their starters. And Ryan Grubb has one of those schemes where there's so much movement. There's not just on the offensive line, right? There's pulling guards, pulling tackles on run plays, and on screens. There's lots of backfield motion. I think you're going to see DK Metcalf this year lined up in the slot at the X. I think you're going to see him lined up in the backfield as running back sometimes this year. I think they're going to utilize him, from what my understanding is, they're going to utilize him how the Huskies utilized Rome Odunze last year. And which it makes sense. I mean, he's the best athlete on the field. He is. He's the best athlete on the field. I'm not saying he's the best receiver. I'm not saying he's the best
like
catching the ball.
Like a Debo package.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we're going to see something like that.
Not to say that he's a Debo or this or that. I'm just referencing.
Get him the ball. Yeah. Because he's the best athlete on the field. He should realistically be, with how he catches the ball, how fast he is, how big he is, he should realistically be a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL, but he's not, because he's been 30th in targets his whole career. He's never go ahead.
I was just thinking like a wheel route with him in the backfield is like, the running back.
Yep.
And some linebacker like, oh, I got to cover this. Yeah. I got to cover this. So which he wouldn't. So what is it going to have to do? The defense is going to have to come up with a special rule. Mm-hmm. And then when that special rule comes out and they figure out what the special rule is, your team's going to be able to then go, okay, now we're going to have Debo, or not Debo, but let's see, McCaffrey, DK in the backfield. And then we're going to do something else because this is the rule. So that's going to get somebody else open.
Exactly.
Right? And they'll just way to exploit it.
And that's one thing that the Seahawks haven't done under Pete Carroll is exploit the other team's weaknesses, right? That's one thing that the Huskies did great last year.
It's not necessarily their weaknesses. It's their rules.
And our strengths. Yeah.
Right. Use your strengths to attack their rules. The weaknesses in their rules. Because really, that's, someone explained to me, it's not like when you see these people open all the time, it's not like somebody, for the most part, it's not like somebody didn't know what the hell was going on. What it is it broke the defense. It somehow it triggered somebody to have to stay somewhere because that's their responsibility when they know, where somebody wants to be in 2 places at once and they can't.
Yeah.
And that's how you get those plays. So yeah, that's nasty. You know what I mean? That's going to be nasty at times.
Yeah, I agree. And like the offensive coordinator came from Washington, and it wasn't like, so the Seahawks last realistically since Marshawn retired have not been able to run the football consistently, and they don't have the personnel to run the football consistently. Maybe they do this season, right? Maybe they do with Charbonnet and K9 back there, and maybe they got a good run blocking offensive line, but they kept trying to make it 3 yards in a cloud of dust every play. And you're like, okay, obviously it's not working. Why are we still doing this? And I think Pete put a lot of cap on what the offense was able to do. Obviously, a defense's best friend is a strong running game. But when you don't have that and it's 3 and out every time, when it's run, pass, and us as fans can even say, it's second and 8, 2nd and 7. And us fans know before the offense even lines up what they're going to do. What do you think the other team's thinking?
Yeah.
Right. And that's just fans. We are nothing compared to that opposing team who studied them.
Yeah, exactly. Week. Yeah.
We
they know which side they lean to when they fart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We watch the games and we kind of see what's going on, but we're not fucking NFL coaching staffs. And so, like I said, when the fans know what's coming, you think that fucking defense doesn't know what's coming right at them.
And the thing is, too, is some defenses, like the 49ers, they might only call a handful of different plays throughout the evening. Sometimes it's been like 2 plays. We've gone a whole game with 2 plays and then like little variations of those 2 plays. You know what I mean? But it's mainly those 2 plays. So like,
well, and when you have a strong personnel, right, you can do that, right?
Yeah. And if you know what's happening,
when everybody does their job correctly, and you don't have to try to cover somebody up, right? Because one person is very poor at their job and somebody got hurt, whatnot. Bill Walsh said it. You can hide an offensive player that sucks, right? You can hide them in your offense. On a defense, once they find that player, they're just going to exploit the shit out of it.
Yeah. They did that with Diamador Lenore. Demo, 2 years ago, got his shot because of injuries, and they were exploiting the shit out of him to the point where he knew it was either tread water or drown. And not only did he learn how to tread water, he became an Olympic swimmer because of it. You know what I mean? To the point where they didn't want to try him anymore. And they're like, shit. You know what I'm saying? They're like, shit, we got to find somewhere else. But that's to your point about the defense, the 49ers, we got a great defense. But if our offense can't stay on the field and sustain drives, we get ran on. Well, we got ran on last year anyways, but we get passed on. We get tired. We get weak being out there all that time. Exactly. No matter how talented your defense is, the more time they spend on the field, the
tired they get.
Well, yeah, and then they got that snowball effect. You know what I mean? Once you hit the wall, it's a crash. It's a crash, and there's no way to really plug a hole in that.
Yeah. Let's get to the negatives of the offense really quick, because I did really just hype the whole offense up, which I think the skill position players are completely awesome with the Seahawks, right? I don't think there's any issue. I don't think you really have to... Go ahead.
You got a fullback?
Nope, they don't run an offense that has one. They're going to bring Pharaoh Brown in to play fullback, right? When they are
Pharaoh Brown?
Tight end, a blocking tight end that we have.
Smart.
Anyways, weakness. Offensive line does not look too pretty. Obviously, Abe Lucas is still hurt, the right tackle, and who knows if he'll ever be back. Good thing we signed George Fant. McClendon Curtis was out there 2 weeks ago. They tried him at tackle, and he's a guard, and he might be the worst player I've ever seen play tackle for the Seahawks, and that's saying a lot because I've seen some pretty bad players. We're just going to have to see if these guys can execute. I think that's a big thing. I think having the starting quarterback out there will be a little bit different as far as like calls and cohesion goes. But let's just see this. The offensive line has been the biggest problem with the Seahawks, not just under Pete. I mean, it's been since like 2007 we've had problems with the offensive line. So I'm not going to believe anything great until I really see it, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's your off. Go ahead.
There's some other things I want to talk about. Dobbs, or not. Yeah. Pasternaut.
Oh, on your team.
Yeah. Pasternaut. He's a good number 2.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, well, he's got the system down enough, I think. And yeah, I like what he brings to the table. He's got them feet. He's elusive. As elusive as far as judging his speed. Like he's got such long legs. He just takes like 4 strides and it's 5, 6, 7, 8 yards. You know what I mean? Like what's going on?
What's crazy is I feel the exact same way about how our backup. I don't want to see him out there, but if I do, I'm not like
Howell, right? Howell?
Yeah, Sam Howell.
I seen some video. It didn't look good.
Of what? Of the preseason game?
Yeah.
What'd you see?
I can't remember specifically, but I just remember going, "Oh."
Yeah. No,
like,
I think
my true first thoughts was this was the quarterback controversy, right?
There never was. Like I said the last show, I mean, they equated like a 6th round pick for him, if you can roll the dice on a 6th round pick, say he works out, looks good on them. He looks like a guy that you can put in there and he won't lose you a game, right? I just want him to kind of run a basic offense and not turn the ball over. Although he did have 1 sack fumble last game, so I don't know.
It's kind of what we asked of Sam Darnold last year. It's like just don't ruin it. You know what I mean? And he really came through, and he got a starting position because of it. So,
not the only reason. It's not the only reason he got a starting position. I mean, with a good meniscus, I think there's a chance he's not the starter yet.
Yeah. No, I get that, but you know what I mean. That's why he got that position.
Yeah, it got signed.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's talk about the Seahawks defense really quick.
Okay.
Because boy, does that team play with some fucking energy, and it is such a breath of fresh air to see them give a shit. You have Witherspoon just barking on the sidelines like a fucking chihuahua at the other team when he's not in the fucking game, right? You have him honestly covering tremendously. That's the number one thing. But they're playing with a swagger right now. At least the first unit is, and actually partially the second unit. I think the deeper you go down, the worse they perform. Obviously,
right.
I think the third unit really does not play with the same intensity as the first and second, which is
they're still trying to make it, bro.
They're trying to make it, but it's not as they're not together like glue. This defense, when you saw the starters out there, everybody knew their job, and it was so crazy to see that. Right? It was a Jim Harbaugh team, and they weren't running on us. Right? That was amazing. Woolen almost got a pick, actually twice, almost got a pick. I don't know. There's just a different energy, and Byron Murphy is the real deal. Enough to where they're triple teaming him now, and he's still causing sacks and errant throws. And some people say, you've said it, I heard somebody else said it. They go, he doesn't have his NFL body yet. And I say, if that's not his NFL body, holy fuck. Watch out next year, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be a game changer. So
it takes about 2 years. If you're in contact with anybody on the offensive line, any regular amount of time, it's going to take 2 years because you got to do the squats, you got to do the bench. You know what I mean?
This guy, even those Seahawks players too, could not believe how big his fucking legs were. Because he has tree trunks, right? And they're like, nobody will compare him to Aaron Donald, right? But Jonathan Hankins was asked, he goes, who does Byron Murphy remind you of? Because everybody's trying to get somebody to say, oh, he's the next Aaron Donald, right? He goes, honestly, right now is basically like having Ndamukong Suh in the middle of that defense. You know, and he's a second rotation player. And it's his first year. I mean, he's the real deal. I'm excited.
Well, good. Yeah. We'll see how it equates.
I'm going to knock on wood here, but that's one of the ones where I just...
Because this is the one thing I see.
Feel terrible at all.
How they bounce back after losing, essentially. Not that, like, you can win a game and the defense know they lost it. You know what I mean? Yep. So how do they bounce back after that? Because you got some young guys, they got some new passion in there. Yeah, that's going to be important to see, because that'll prove going forward what they're built on, right? Mm-hmm. So that'll be something interesting to see. That mid-season when it's getting real tough, you know what I mean? And they're,
everybody's hurt, and,
and there's some sort of loss or adversity. Yeah. I'm making shit up as I go.
Yeah, I mean, don't we all, right? That's kind of the way I live my life, realistically. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm super stoked to see this defense. Super stoked. I think they're going to be a problem this year. And I've been saying this all along with the defense and the offense. If you're a Seahawks fan, do not expect them to start fast, right? Both are very complicated. Offensive and defensive schemes are very complicated. But the Ravens, the last 2 seasons, have been 17th and 15th in the first half of the season in total defense, right? And that's Mike McDonald's defense. The second half of the season, first. So even they start a little bit slow, right? But once everybody gets together as a group and knows what they're doing, they're the best defense in the NFL.
Which is weird, because defense is so kind of easy. Not to say that it's easy, but defense, it's like a 4-3, cover 3 is cover 3. You know what I mean? Everybody has their little twists on how they do it, and what how they adjust and make the cover 3 work. It's just, but cover 3 is cover 3, right? So, like, in training camp, the defense always has like a leg up on the offense in the beginning, but because the offense are learning the newer plays. Not that every play has kind of been drawn up before, but like routes, the lines learning to essentially learning their dance again. You know what I mean? Because there's a synchronous dance the offensive line has to do on certain plays. Mm-hmm. So that they always have an edge. So it's just funny that, that it took them that long to kind of get it. I wonder if it's just really complex.
It is.
And it's always harder for everybody to get on.
That's the biggest thing. And, the Ravens have led the league in sacks, and they're doing it with players that you don't hear their name and think, oh, that's a 10-sack guy, right? They're doing it. I guess Kyle Van Noy had one of his best years last year, and he's like 40 years old. Jadeveon Clowney has had one of his best years he had last year, and he's in his mid-30s. There was one more. Justin Houston had a great year last year, and they're doing it. They're doing it because the way that, I guess, they send people on blitzes. People call him, like I said, people call him the Kyle Shanahan of defense. So let's see. Let's see it. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, blitzing is an art now, because offensive linemen have kind of seen it all at this point. If you're in the league for on the offensive line for a year, you've pretty much seen it all, because like these coaches are going to go back and look to see what you've seen and hit you with the stuff you hadn't seen before. Right.
Well, yeah, and it's not only on the offensive line, it's the quarterback's pre-snap reads, right? Like, putting a guy in motion, if the guy follows him all the way across the line, obviously they're playing man defense. But what if only, one, what if it's a cover two, but, two guys are playing man or something like that?
Well, they got man on one side and zone on the other sometimes.
Exactly. And the way that he does things confuses the fuck out of offenses, which I like.
No, I just got Madden, so I've been playing Madden, and
on Xbox or your phone?
On my computer.
Oh, nice.
But I play with my Xbox controller because they tell you that's better, and it is. But yeah, no, like I've been starting to learn coverages more, but
yeah, it kind of actually helps with that. Believe it or not.
That's why I bought the game. And I found I like cover 6 a lot.
Yeah.
I like cover 6 because it kind of prioritizes one side of the field, which or more your threats are at. And then, I can worry about the center of the field with my linebacker.
Well, one thing that's cool with the new Madden is if you run like a cover 2, if you go press Y and then left on the D-pad, if you're running cover 2, it'll have a shell, like a pre-snap that you're running cover 1. All right. And then
I can do that. You can do that in the while you're picking the play. You can use, I think it's the left stick. You can figure out what you want to stunt at, or not stunt, but what is you want to show. Mm-hmm. And then you just, you pick your play, which I love which I don't really worry too much about. I really don't. I'm more worried about figuring out what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like me some cover 6. I really like me some cover 6. Use a lot. I got Randy Moss on my ultimate team.
Oh, I quit ultimate team this year.
First play from scrimmage was a kick return, and I didn't know he was in as a kick returner, and he caught the ball, and I took it to the fucking house.
Sick.
Yeah.
Back to real life.
Yeah.
Anything I should know before we leave here today?
Supposedly 49ers gave Brandon Aiyuk a new offer, and I guess he was really receptive to a lot of it, except there was something with the last year he didn't like, and he pushed it back on the table to them. And so that's where we're at there. It'll probably take another week until the 49ers cave. I think they got Trent Williams and Brandon Aiyuk have to be in the building and have some practice 10 days before.
Well, Aiyuk has been in the building but not practicing.
Right, but you have to be like ready to practice or whatever.
Yeah, ready to play contact football.
Yeah, 10 days beforehand. So I think it is 10 days beforehand. You got to have a certain amount of practices in. So, yeah, this is where we're at. This is what the 49ers wanted. I just want to point that out. This is exactly what the 49ers wanted. They wanted to be here right now. They wanted to pay more than they could have in the beginning. Well,
here's an issue that I have. And this is what I kind of Google. I just type in Aiyuk on Google every day, right? Just to kind of see what the fucking deal is. And I can be completely honest. I don't give a shit where he goes. I mean, I'd like it if he wasn't on the 49ers, but I just kind of, Google Aiyuk, see what comes up.
You guys would be really good against us, it sounds like, this year if everything you said is true. You know what I mean? And we didn't have Aiyuk. That would be getting open. Who's getting open? And you got somebody wrecking on the defensive line. Oh, okay.
The problem has been the pass rush. The problem with our defense has been the pass rush and run defense, right? So it's been the front seven. Yeah. I mean, and number 33, but he's no longer. So, anyways, yeah, let's see if they can do something. I'm actually excited about Dodson, the new middle linebacker. Anyways,
hey, wait, what's that dude who played number 33? What's his name again?
Blitz Boy.
What's his real name though?
Jamal.
Yeah. Adams. Okay.
Yeah.
Jamal wah Adams.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, it's all good though.
Okay. For some reason, there's a fiesta going on at my house right now.
Somebody beating a dog, small dog.
No. She
That's okay.
gets excited. Anyways, yeah, there is some shit going on right now.
They are beating that dog. No, I'm joking.
No, my wife's parents are over. Yeah, if we can actually get to the quarterback, it makes it a little bit easier for the defense to cover. So,
yeah.
Jesus Christ, guys. Sorry, it's been hectic.
It's easier to play defense when the secondary and the pass rush are married together.
Yeah.
It's way easier for everyone to do your job, because if you do it, you're not going to have to do it for very long. You're just going to have to do it at a high level for about 4 seconds.
Yeah, a secondary's best friend is a good defensive line,
So. And vice versa.
Yep.
Me as a defensive lineman, if you can keep the quarterback from throwing the ball, that's just more chances for me to get a sack, which is what I'm here for, baby. That's what I like to get paid in. I could like to, you know what I mean? That's pay dirt for me. So it's, and then, I'll make him throw that ball scared, and you guys might get an interception. So, like it.
How about Purdy? I heard he looked like ass.
In preseason game?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he looked like ass.
I know this is all because I've seen overreactions from Seahawks fans about shit too. It's the preseason. I get it. Not everybody's in there. So
right, exactly. Like his regular people aren't in there. You could see him, like Braden Willis, one of my favorite guys from last draft, who I, got big hopes for. I think he might take over for Juszczyk one day. But you could see him in the game. He's Brock Purdy. Trent Taylor falls down. Another wide receiver falls down. Like his third option is totally blanketed. So he like breaks the pocket and he runs out. And Braden Willis is totally blanketed, right? But when you got that option, you can either climb the field or you can come back. And he should have put his foot in the ground and came back. And that's what Purdy's he's pointing to the ground in front of him, right? Like come back. And he keeps on going. And then Purdy steps out of bounds, right? And it's like a sack because he went out of bounds. So people were saying, that shouldn't happen. Brock Purdy should never take a sack. I'm like, bro, it's preseason. He took the sack and didn't get hit. What he was trying to do was teach his freaking teammate what he needs to do real time, right? Yeah. And that's a good thing that a leader does. You know what I'm saying? So to me, he doesn't have his offensive line out there. People are mad that he was taking hits. He didn't take big hits. He's not a fragile little doll. He wants to feel like he's playing football. He wants to feel grounded. You know what I mean? Okay, so this is one thing. So Grant Cohn is saying that he played Brock Purdy while he wasn't calling the plays, and while the weapons weren't out there to try and prove to Brock Purdy that, or anybody else, that, hey, look, I'm the magic, right? And I thought, well, that could be. But when I hear what Brock said and what Kyle said, I don't think that's actually true. It could also be a way to like prove to Brandon Aiyuk, hey, Brandon, it's not Brock Purdy, it's Kyle. It's not you all the way. It's Kyle, right? So that's another angle it could be. But I think it was so Brock Purdy said he wanted to play. Okay. So I think Brock wanted to get out there. He wanted to get, some real live reps, get back into some football, kind of get the stuff processing earlier. You know what I mean? Whatever. He's the team captain. You know what I mean? He's running shit. I'm down with that. When Kyle got up, he was pretty much saying I was making sure, like, first thing, you giving your offensive coordinator the chance to call plays instead of you. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Who knows? This is preseason. I hope he actually does this more often during preseason, because what he was doing was making sure that guys were getting the right reps they needed. So he was making sure certain people were getting in the game. He was making, I'm guessing, controlling the flock type of thing. So that's something I appreciate, because that's the tape he's going to go back and review. And then if he was on top of making sure everybody got in there, he's going to have the tape he needs to review them to when he makes the cut. So I think this is important type stuff that he's doing here, and it's preseason. I don't give a shit about preseason. You know what I mean? The more people are learning, once Kyle feels he's warmed up and ready for the season, I don't care who's coaching it in preseason as far as calling plays. I don't care. So I don't know what your thoughts. I thought that was a weird take from him. Yeah, because I don't know.
I think personally, just between you and me and the fucking 4 people that are watching right now, I think the 49ers might have an off year. It just feels it, like, in my gut,
well, maybe not an off year, but at least a slow start.
I don't know. Part of me feels like it's just going to be one of those fucking injury type, nobody's on the same page. And that's no slight towards you guys. Like, I talked to you guys last offseason. I thought you guys were winning the Super Bowl. I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan, right? I just, part of me feels like they're just going to have an off year.
Yeah, no, but I feel we're going to have a slow start without Trent Williams out there and without Brandon Aiyuk out there in camp, at least. You also got to understand, like, iron sharpens iron. And without Brandon Aiyuk in there, the secondary, to me, isn't as leveled up as they need to be going into week 1. And to me, the defensive line isn't leveled up as they need to be going into week 1. And or did I say offensive line? Defensive line isn't leveled up enough.
I think
and the offense. Okay. I thought I said offensive. And the offensive line, I don't know if you want to call it leveling, but they won't be in sync with it. Like, let's say Trent Williams gets signed to whatever deal is going to be signed within the next week, right? That's not time enough to get in sync. So Trent Williams knows what he's doing, right? Trent Williams knows what he's doing. Is he in sync with everybody else in all the run plays? Are they in sync with him?
And also, I saw, God, I forget who it was. It was one of the national guys that I'm pretty sure he used to play in the NFL. He goes, I don't care that Trent Williams is 36 years old. You still have to get that callus every year from actually playing football. You can go out in the gym every day and play, and especially a lineman. I think Aiyuk is a little bit different because he's a receiver, less physical. I kind of believe him. And, William, I hate to be this guy, but he's not getting any younger.
No.
So that
football hurts. Football hurts, and the callus isn't a lie. The callus is not a lie. It's something like your nerve endings just need to get deadened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it only lasts for, so long. And, once you have a couple months rest, they come back. So, like, you kind of do need that, or else things hurt, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, things always hurt in football, but usually it doesn't hurt until the day after, right? But if you don't have that callus, it hurts real time. It hurts real time.
No shit.
Which can make you gun shy, right? Because if it hurts, why do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Try and figure out a way not to make it hurt, and that's just going to get you hurt. In my opinion, every time that I tried to baby something, I always felt like I got hurt more. And every time I just went with reckless abandonment, I felt like it was fine. That like it didn't get hurt any more than it normally would.
Yeah. You got to play it 100%.
Yeah.
That's why you get hurt if you don't. You got anything else going on this week?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the flag football.
You don't got much time because go ahead. Tell me how you feel about it.
No. So the NFL trying to get into the flag football for the Olympics. Did you hear about this?
Yep. Heard about it.
Yeah. And then one of the quarterbacks from the flag football team came out and said, nah, fuck that. You didn't grow this sport, so you don't get to play in it.
Up.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. Who's that guy?
He didn't say it in those specific words. I'm sorry. I am paraphrasing for him. I can bring it up for you if you want.
Are you on his side?
I feel. Hold on. Let me get the actual thing up here.
I feel like if you were good enough to represent the U.S. in the fucking Olympics, you'd probably be good enough to play in the NFL.
So his name, he's 5'8", 140 pounds.
Oh, is he Doug Flutie?
Darrell Duchette.
Duche.
Should know that.
I
should know that.
I'm just guessing. Darrell Duche. QB.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, once you said it, I was like,
he thinks he's better. He thinks he's more fit to lead Team USA than Patrick Mahomes. What a fucking dork.
No, he says, I think it's disrespectful that they just automatically assume that they're able to just join the Olympic team because of the person that they are. They didn't help grow this game to get to the Olympics.
Oh my God, Darrell Duche. Boy, would I like to talk to you. The only reason we're playing flag football in the Olympics is because of the NFL. It is nothing to do with flag football in general. No. Stop. I feel like the flag football in the Pro Bowl was more viewed than the professional flag football league's entire season. Go ahead.
Right, but that doesn't make it a national sport. What?
I want to play tackle football in the Olympics. I think we'd beat the shit out of everybody.
Obviously. But I think what you're missing is that around the world, people are definitely willing to get into flag football. And that's the opening to get into padded football. And for me, if these guys are the one that built the house, if these guys are the foundation to the house that gets built, give them the first couple tries. Okay. If you don't bring home gold after the first couple tries, we'll let somebody else do it. Okay.
How about this? Instead, have a tryout. Okay. Invite the best flag football players and the best NFL players. Have a tryout. Have a fucking open tryout. Make it like a 3-week fucking camp. 2-week camp. Right? And we're going to pick the best out of the best, no matter what your name is.
Look, and I'm still okay with that, but I do appreciate what this man is talking about. Do you understand that?
Kind of.
Bro,
no.
How is somebody going to put in all this work and then right at the end, when you get to go to the biggest game in all of your sporting, somebody else is going to come in and be like, nope, you can be my backup just in case I roll my ankle, just passing.
I'm sorry. A part of me would just want to see Who's the worst starting NFL quarterback? In your opinion, out of all 32 teams? Daniel Jones?
No, but
Who do you think?
Who's starting in Pittsburgh?
Russell Wilson.
Okay, no, I'm just saying whoever is starting in Pittsburgh.
Russell Wilson or Justin Fields?
Right. Whoever's starting in Pittsburgh is the worst.
I don't think this guy, just personally, and not just flag football. I mean, personally, dropping back, throwing the football, just as a passer, I feel like the worst starting quarterback in the NFL is probably better than this guy at flag football, quarterback wise. Skill position wise, I don't know who's going to be better at flag football. I think skill position wise, you might, running back, wide receiver, I feel like you might want a flag football guy to do that.
Well, I think because this is what I brought up with Ted. Like the flag football guys, they're kind of built like a gazelle, like tall gazelles, right? There,
you can't scramble in flag football, can you?
I think it depends on the rules, but I think no, you can, I don't think you can break the plane. You can move, but you can't scramble when you get rushed.
That's why I want the best. Thrower of a football. That's fine. Receiver, maybe it's different because I know they move not north and south. From what I've heard, there's a lot of east and west in there. With your whole body trying to not get the flag tore off.
Yeah.
Maybe the best option is, Duche, hey, you're right. Let's give these flag football people a chance, but not you. Let's find the best quarterback in the world, throw him out there.
I'm Bobby Duche.
Yeah, fucking Bobby Duche. Anyways, what do you have going on the rest of the week?
I think I'm done for the rest of the week.
I think I might be too. Reminder, guys, nobody's watching this. If you come back and watch, we're 10 days away from Huskies football, 18 days away from Seahawks football. It is time to get pumped.
Yeah, you should be excited for this season. You got a whole bunch of people jumping in around your camp there. You got Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll took a trip up there.
Nah, he's there like every day because his son's the offensive coordinator, and Bill Belichick's there all the time too.
Yeah.
John Lynch was there, fucking, because his son's on the coaching staff. John Lynch was there this offseason talking to the University of Washington. Who else? Jack Del Rio's son on the coaching staff. God, there's somebody else.
See the 49ers drafting some Huskies.
Who?
So
in the future, you mean?
Yeah, because one of the big things John Lynch likes to do is really just talk to people about who's the best guys in the locker room. So if his son is in the locker room, right? If his son is in the locker room, and Dad, this guy is the best. You know what I mean? Like Husky players, take note.
I think they are. They're just kind of like they're vibing with Bill and Pete. I think the Huskies are doing a hell of a job recruiting based on the fact that they have Bill Belichick and Pete Carroll there, because I think they're doing the right thing right now. And I haven't.
It's like USC back in the day, but of like coaches. The coaches are the star instead of the stars. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But dude, I think it's done a hell of a job in recruiting.
Wouldn't it for you?
Yeah, because what they're doing, instead of selling you the NIL, right? Instead of selling you, hey, this is where you come to win a national championship, they're selling, if you want to go to the NFL, you come play here.
Yeah.
Which I think realistically will build a winning football team. We don't have time for that.
And you can get your own endorsements on the side.
Exactly.
If you got a commitment and you believe in yourself, you can make it here and you can make it beyond, right? Yep. You can get an education. You can get education, you can get money and deals, and then you can get a profession also.
Well, I think what Jed Fish is trying to say, right, is okay, I get. Actually, a lot of people are saying this. I get that the NIL is nice right now, right? But a couple $100,000 you're getting from boosters and stuff. But think about when you're in the NFL, how much better that money is than the NIL money.
For the average player that thinks about NIL money, they're not the ones getting the actual NIL money, right? So somebody who I'd say would be worth saying, hey, you know, how much you got to pay me to come play for you. Anybody who's that talented, they're still not talented enough to be one of the top earners as far as going and getting
it'll come
all
to
the
you.
other money as far as like deals and stuff like that. So like
it'll come to you. That's the thing, is if you're good enough, it'll come to you, and that's how it should be.
Right, but what I'm saying is those guys looking for the NIL money, like you can only get so much because there's always somebody else just as talented, kind of, unless you're one of the big dudes. And in that case, there's only a couple of them, and they know who they are, and those teams know who they are and what they're willing to do for it, right? So
well, and they know they're making it to the league anyways.
So, which is weird. Like,
it's cool.
I always think it's funny that people, they have like an off year and all of a sudden they're just like tossed away like it's nothing. And it's like, well, there could be things going on here. This could still be a really talented person. You know what I mean? They give you like 3 years. 3 years in college were great, and then the fourth year was bad. And you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, now he's got to drop. And it's like, but he gave you all those years. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to see the metrics on that. Like, are people really peaking then declining? Or are they just having a bad year at the wrong time and then they can still go on to great careers? You know what I mean?
No, that makes sense.
I'll let you go. Get out of here.
Yeah, I got a party going on. I got a fiesta. All right, guys. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Fiesta's like tacos and Tuesdays?
2 more Sundays until NFL football. 3 more.
We got wait, really? Because we should have 49ers should have one more game and then like a bye week, and then I guess that would be 3. Never mind, shut up, Ryan.
Well, no, you guys play Monday night, right? Yeah.
We play Monday night against the Jets, yes.
All right, guys. Peace out. See you next Wednesday.
Peace.